Hello everyone, this is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today our guest is Mario Ferreira, who will fight on Cage Warriors 191 June 28th. Hello Mario, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. Doing good.
And to be honest, I'm really excited about your next fight. You will be fighting, it will be your Cage Warriors debut. You will fight against Fran Breen. So if you can tell me, how do you feel before this fight? And if you did anything different than like in your previous training camps for this fight?
Well, my expectations are high as always. I always train like I'm fighting the best in the world, so my preparation was equal as before. I always give my best. Doesn't matter if my opponent is his first fight, second fight, third fight, in Cage Warriors, in local event. I always train my best, and that's what I did again.
And it will be your second fight. And how do you feel that the second pro fight will be in the Cage Warriors?
Well, I'm very excited that the fact it will be in Cage Warriors, which is one of the biggest MMA events in the world, surely the biggest in Europe, I would say. And to be having my second fight there is, I'm truly excited to go there and prove something.
And did you have any chance to watch any of the fights of Breen or like highlights, finishes?
Yes, of course, I watched some of his fights for studying. Uh, yeah, like I always do to always my opponents. If I have tape, I always watch it.
And so do you like do it by yourself, not coaches, but you like to like.
My coaches all does it as well, but I also me personally do it in my free time. I like to do it myself as well.
And do you expect that it will be 15 minutes fights, that it will be a decision?
Well, I cannot say for sure if it will be a finish or not, but I'll put the best performance that I can do, and I will always look for the finish. But if it's a decision, doesn't matter. I'll just want to bring the win home.
And as the amateur, you were a quite active fighter, and here as the pro also, because you fought just 3 months ago. And for next half of the year, do you also have some plans that maybe you will take one or two more fights?
Well, I don't have anything set for after the Cage Warriors fight, but I do for sure want to fight at least one more time this year. If maybe two, I don't know. Depends how the fight goes. If I get some bruises or something, or if I got clean, depends on that. But I would like for sure to fight more still this year.
And of course, it's like sometimes hard to predict like your near future because you don't know what's gonna happen in the fight or even like training
Exactly.
camp. But about Cage Warriors, do you have a one fight deal with them, or it's like a little bit longer?
Well, as of now, it was just this opportunity that appeared. I don't have anything like a specific contract for more than one fight. It's just for this fight, but then we'll see, uh, depending on my performance, if they want to do more fights with me or not. But for now, it's just a one fight deal.
And about your beginnings in the combat sports, what was the first combat sport that you ever trained that allow you to go to MMA?
Well, I started first in Muay Thai about like 9 years ago. But it was something like a little bit more casual, like 3 times a week. Like nothing, I didn't compete that much. It was just casual training. Like about 5 years ago or something, that's when I changed to this team now, where I started MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, and I also started competing more and getting more experience. So I would say about like 5 years from ago. That's when I started to really compete and really get into it.
And with the this kind of competitions, do you know after a few of them that it will be the career that you would like to take, that you want to be a pro
Yes,
MMA
for sure,
fighter?
for sure, for sure. Even before I started training, I knew that it was MMA that I first wanted to. But here in Portugal, it was not that famous, so I couldn't find a gym. That's why I started with Muay Thai. But MMA was always the first sport that I really wanted to do. when I first started training martial arts. But again, there was not many gyms doing MMA, so I just joined the Muay Thai gym. But then I found one who was starting to do MMA, and I changed teams. And I've been here in KO team, which is my team, ever since this past 5 years.
And can you tell me more about your team? Who is your coach? Who are your sparring partners? This kind of
Yes,
details.
of course, of course. Well, my team is, as I said, the MMA scene in our team is quite recent, but our team is mainly a kickboxing team with a lot of champions. I even had one teammate who fought yesterday. He made his debut in Glory, well, Glory 100. Yes, it's called Yuri Fernandes. He's a heavyweight and he made his debut this weekend. I also have a lot of European champions in kickboxing. So it's mainly a kickboxing gym. I have a lot of great training partners in the kickboxing department. And in MMA, I also have some good training partners like Ben Zakar, which is professional fighter, and some new kids who are joining the scene, but they are very talented and they help me a lot. As of my coaches, they are Ricardo Martins and Juguinho Oliveira, which is my BJJ coach. And yeah, I like them and I train a lot with them.
And actually, I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I think that in last few years, Portugal got some success in like IMMAF competition. I believe that you also
Yes.
won a medal there, so probably it's going to the right direction.
Yes, of course. Like I said, the MMA scene in Portugal was not very big. It's starting to grow a lot these past like 2 3 years, but still on the short side. I've been representing Portugal 4 times in different IMFs, and one of them, my first one that I went to was a World Championship in Albania. It was my first time representing Portugal on the MF, and that's when we got Zé Machado to win the gold medal, the world champion. He also turned professional now. He's like 3-0 now. Great prospect as well. We'll hear a lot about him in the future. And then yeah, my second IMF was a European in Serbia, which I did got bronze medal. And then at the same year, the end of the year, last year, in the World Championship in Uzbekistan, I got fifth place. I was in the quarterfinals against Uzbekistan.
But in the end, I think that this IMAF competition is very good because of it you are quite experienced because you are just not a 1-0 fighter, but you
Yeah.
have like almost 20 amateur fights. So it's definitely you walked to the cage many times.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Like some people that they just jump straight into professional, and I didn't want to do that, so I waited as long as possible to get the most experience that I could as amateur, which I did 4 IMAFs. I fought in Ireland, in France, here in Portugal as well. And as you said, I have like 17 amateur fights, just MMA fights. And I also have some jiu-jitsu competitions, some wrestling competitions, but I have 17 amateur fights before turning professional. So, in a lot of world and European championships to get a lot of experience against the best guys in the world.
And do you think about going to other gym, maybe from Europe, maybe outside of the Europe, just few weeks to maybe get some knowledge and be back in your like main gym and be like the also a kind of source of knowledge from the different parts of the world?
Yes, for sure. I definitely think about going abroad to do a training camp, maybe either in Thailand or in the USA. Uh, I do plan on doing that, just don't know when, but I do plan on going abroad to do like a 3 weeks training camp over there
I
in
think
either America or Thailand, I would say.
probably Thailand is right now the best place because of course like in US you have so many gyms, but it's also quite expensive to go there, and Thailand you have like level of training partners, it's like super high like in US, and the like cost of living is a little bit lower.
Yes, for sure, for sure. The only problem in Thailand would be like the flight itself. I think that's the most expensive part. But I'll manage it, and I definitely want to do that someday.
And when you started your MMA career, did you have any like role models that the people or one fighter who is inspired you to go this route?
Yes, for sure. Like it's gonna sound a little bit cliche, but it was Conor McGregor, the first guy who got me into this. I also like GSP a lot. Yeah, I even have a tattoo like him as well. And so yeah, McGregor and GSP would be like the first guys that got me into MMA.
And what's crazy is that they were like the biggest draws that people buy the pay-per-views because of them, but they were totally different guys. Conor McGregor was this kind of crazy trash talker, and GSP was always super humble, super respectful, and people still want to watch his fights.
Yeah, for sure. They're totally different, but they're both amazing in their own ways. Like they're both amazing fighters, and either way of thinking of either McGregor way of thinking or GSP way of thinking, I found it amazing, even though they are very different.
And about your style, do you like to watch maybe one of or a few fighters that you know that you can pick something from his game and add to your game in your fights?
Um, yes, for sure. I like a lot Peter Yan. I like him a lot. His style, his boxing style is clean. I do try to implement some of his style on mine. So yeah.
And actually, Jan also trains in Thailand, so it's like
So maybe I can go train with him there
yes,
one
yes.
day.
And when you watch a UFC fights, do you have maybe one fighter that you want would like to face him? Maybe the fight will happen, maybe not, but even as the training, as the like sparring, you know that it would be interesting to try to compete against this fighter.
To be honest, I never really thought about it. uh, Never crossed my mind that type of thinking. To be honest.
And because right now you are 1-0, but do you have maybe like long-term plan for your MMA career? Like maybe in a few years you would like to be in this place or this place. Do you have this like kind of a career path?
Yeah, so of course, for sure. Like I cannot tell for certain if it would take like 2 years, 3 years. I cannot say for sure because I don't know how many fights I will get in certain amount of year, or if I get some injury. I cannot tell for sure, but definitely the plan would be to get to the UFC in the next 5 years tops. That would be like the plan. Maybe sooner, maybe longer. I don't know. The goal is always the UFC for everybody who does this sport, I would say.
And like right now, there are not many fighters from Portugal. Of course, there are a few, but I think that in a few years it can be more, and maybe you will be this kind of new wave of fighters from the country.
Yes, for sure. I think after these last IMMAFs, like with Zé Machado being champion, me and other Portuguese fighters getting medals, I think that boosted a little bit the MMA. How do I say the MMA? The people want to do MMA more because they see the Portuguese fighters outside of Portugal getting medals and getting some success, even in the amateurs, and they want to do the same. They want to start training and they get inspired by them. So I think the MMA in Portugal is growing a lot this year.
And even in the case of like Conor McGregor, there were not a lot of fighters from Ireland before him. And when he, of course, he was like super successful, no question about it. But after him, it was like in many weight classes there were like new Irish fighters. So sometimes this you need just one fighter to be successful to whole nation go on the like higher level.
Yeah, it's obviously a factor. If you see that somebody from your own country is making it, you think, okay, if he's making it, why not me? Why, if it has to be somebody, if a guy from my own country can do it, why can't I do it with the same resources, same country, same resources? I can also do it if he can. Why not?
And outside of world of MMA, when you have a little bit more free time after the training or even if you are after the fight, do you like to do you have like some maybe hobbies, maybe passions, the things outside of the game?
If I have some hobbies outside of
Yes, yes.
MMA, well, to be honest, I spend most of my time training and working. To be honest, I don't really have much free time. I just work, then go training, then work, then train, then work, then train. Don't really have many hobbies outside. I like to hang out with my friends, go out with them, like dinner, movies. I don't know, but I don't have much free time right at the moment.
So after the like tough training session, just home and relax.
Yes, basically it.
And of course, the fight in Cage Warriors is quite big. And do you feel like any different like maybe nerves because this fight because you know that it will be a little bit bigger exposure?
No, that's exactly what I want. The bigger the sooner that I start to get this exposure in these big events, the sooner I get used to it. In, believe it or not, in IMMAF is an event with a lot of people watching. Even if they're not watching you singularly, because like 3 4 cages at the same time, it's still a big crowds of people around and a lot of cameras, a lot of staff, a lot of people. So I kind of got used to that, having a lot of people around because of IMAFs.
So you competed so many times in IMAF, so definitely the exposure will be okay for you.
Yeah, I think like the a lot of, even like I said, even though they are not watching you just specifically because it's like 4 cages at the same time, is a lot of people watching the fights, a lot of cameras, a lot of stuff. So I think is it will be not much difference. Maybe there'll be some British guys insulting me, but other than that, I don't really care. I just going there to do my job.
Okay, Mario. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. I think that it will be a really interesting fight, and I hope that that with a win you will get a longer contract because the Cage Warriors is like a very good promotion to fight in.
Yes, of course. I also hope they give me more fights in there.